Did you see Acuna steal third on Dylan Covey? Wasn't even paying attention to the runner on. It was like a 6-0 ball game. That's what it was like. 6-0 ball game in the 8th inning. That's what it felt like. And he just waltzed over to third from second base. In a much lesser, but still similar too. It reminded me of Johnny Damon in the 2009 World Series just running to third base because no one was covering third. Oh, that's available? You guys are giving me that? Thanks. And Acuna just went over there. Like, the difference right now for the Phillies and the Braves, I mean, you want to talk about a team that's whatever they are, 18 games over 500 now, whatever the hell they are, first place by a mile. You want to talk about difference? Both teams have talent, okay? The biggest difference I see in these two teams, it just comes down to discipline and concentration and focus. Like, just doing the little things to help you win. Phillies don't do the little things well. Little things over 162 games, that they turn into some pretty big things. And the Phillies can do big things well. Like, for instance, I remember making this argument in the beginning of the season. I think it was after really early in the season, too, and I think it was Brandon Marsh rounding third against the Yankees and then having to go back to third, and he gets thrown out. And as the season went on, the Phillies for the first month and a half led all of baseball in base running blunders, getting thrown out on the base paths. And I remember making the point, the hardest thing to do in sports is supposed to be hit a baseball. And the Phillies have one of the best hitting teams in baseball. And even then, going back to then, they're one of the best hitting teams in baseball. You know what's supposed to be one of the easier things in sports? Running from first base to second base and knowing when to do that. Running from second base to third base and knowing when to do that. Hell, run the bases in general. And the Phillies, they just really couldn't do that. They do the big things well. They can hit well. They can score runs. But when it comes to staying on the base paths and giving themselves more opportunities for runs, not doing it. And it reared its ugly head again last night. That's the difference. Concentration. Heads up baseball. Smart baseball. That's a big difference. And it reared its ugly head again last night. And you can't expect to come away with this series against the Braves, winning this series against the Braves. You can't expect to do it if you're not going to play heads up. Unbelievably frustrating last night, and that was just salt on the open wound.